Yes, good people. Thank you once again for finding the time to join me on a Chelsea Perspective for another Transfer Watch show. There aren't much out there with regards to Chelsea Football Club's plans for the summer or anything else going on. Yeah, but there's one surprising rumors out there about Enzo Fernandez's future that I think we should talk about. You could again, there are so many angles to look at the situation from, but that's by the way. More importantly, I do hope you're all doing well. I appreciate you. Those of you that are watching, just three people, that's not easy. I want to say thank you to you all, but keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along with to help me garner more likes. We have just how many likes? It's just about 6 likes right now, but we can do much better than that. Sit back, relax, and let's get into the show. Yes, good people. Thank you once again for finding the time to join me as usual. Whether we have too many people or not in the chat, we keep it interactive here because that's how we roll. And I have my friend brother in the chat, Kalito. Worldwide, nice to see you, brother. Actually, coach, he says, actually, coach, I am in the minority in actually believing where there's smoke, there's fire. Okay, let's see what else you have to say there. I think Enzo did go to Chelsea and talk about leaving. I don't think he did that. Not maybe even you could say maybe he thought about it. He's a human being, but not to the extent of going to the club to talk about it. Had he done that, I think we'd be hearing a lot more about that situation rather than beyond hearing the news from just journalists or Twitter accounts that are aligned with Barcelona. Here's the thing: as much as it makes sense a bit, given the time, given the fact that we had lost just 2 games in a row at the time, it is believable. But I didn't believe it one bit. For me, it's just the fact that emotions were running high at the time, and journalists out there wanted to. They capitalized on that for clicks, and it worked. A lot of people, I don't think too many people believed it actually, because if you know the fact that he's on a long, very, very long term on a long contract at Chelsea. Plus, I don't think Chelsea will sell him for cheap. You know that quite well. Chelsea will not sell him for anything less than 150 million. And I don't think Barcelona will spend that much money on him. That's one thing to consider for us. Plus, more importantly, not even going to the extent of how much we're willing to sell him, the fact that Chelsea will not look to sell him, and even if he's pushing to leave, they're not going to sell him. And we're talking about Barcelona. They weren't able to sign a single player this past transfer window, were they? Correct me if I'm wrong. Even if they did, probably didn't sign their top targets, and that's because they didn't have the money to do so. So as much as it's easy to believe the rumors because of what was going on at Chelsea, what's still going on happening at Chelsea, and the fact that we lost 2 games in a row at the time when the rumors emerged. To some people, yeah, I did look at. Some people will listen to that and say, yeah, I think it's true. but I don't think it's the case. I keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along with 7 likes. We should be doing way better than that. And Kalita saying, no, I have thoughts. You have thought about this for months, and followed up by another comment where he says, you're missing the point. I am not talking about Barcelona. I'm talking about him thinking he was lied to. No, even that. I'm just, okay. Here's the thing. Maybe because the topic we have lined up here uh, is because we want to deal with the case from the perspective of rumors tying him. You can say rumors saying that he wants to leave Chelsea and has offered himself to Barcelona. I think it's absolute nonsense, but I understand where you're coming from. Not about Barcelona. I'm talking about him thinking that he was lied to. Here's why I think that's not the case. Remember, he was the same person. I think he said something, something as I think he was interviewed at the time with Moises Caicedo. And what I learned from their responses to the interview questions that they were asked during that particular interview was that, yeah, they were properly briefed. They were properly briefed on the direction that the owners want to go with the club. And I think they said also they did say something to the effect of, yeah, they want to, they understand the situation. They know it would take long, that we have an entirely new squad, that we have a lot of young players, and that will take time. It would take time for the team to gel and start playing as a unit, playing as a cohesive unit, to be more specific. They know we have a very good squad, so I'm not too concerned. Maybe you missed the interview in question. I think it was him and Moses Casado that both were interviewed, and they both, they were practically saying, yeah, we understand, we knew this was never going to be easy. Even his agent's comments, if you paid attention to what he said after the latest rumors, I think that's to me, it's reflective of the fact that he understands. Again, he's more of saying that his client knew before he signed for Chelsea what he was getting into. But it's easy for people, but it's easy to see it from whatever direction or perspective you want to see it from, and that's because there are situations to make it make sense for you, even when that isn't the case. As for me, I don't think he wants to leave. He's a human being. Chances are he's had doubts, given the fact that we struggled more than I believe we should this season. I think public embarrassment forces an appropriate response to the contrary. But I think what the agent said is enough for me. But I do understand your push, or you can say your part of your tweet that says, yeah, they should sue the outlet, or maybe the media outlet or sports company. I'm not sure how to reference them, to force them to issue an apology. That if they don't do that, people will be inclined to believe, that he did in fact, that in fact he wanted to leave Chelsea, and for some reason didn't end up leaving. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along. We appreciate about how many people watching. 7 on YouTube, 11 in total, which means around 30% on some other platform, maybe Facebook and maybe Facebook or Instagram. We don't have too many people watching right now, but that's okay. But more importantly, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. And quickly, I want to appeal to those of you who are watching, but for one reason or the other, you're not able to participate in the chat. Just know that we appreciate you. And that's because you watching alone does go a long way. But I want to ask you for one tiny bitty favor, which is to take a second and drop a like on the stream for us to help us garner more likes. And that's because the more likes we're gonna, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered and be forced to push the stream, so more people will be interested in the topics we have lined up. And we're not going to let this go. We're not going to let this go too long, and that's because there are games. We want to start the approach of when there are games, like Premier League games, we should at least go and watch them. We don't have any reason to go for 3 hours today. So keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along where I think I stopped here. Kalita here saying, okay, he says, no, I have thought about this for months. Like I said, he's a human being, and chances are he's had doubts on occasionally. But him celebrating the way he did, even if he did, clearly he's changed his mind. You're missing the point. I am not talking about Barcelona. Like I said, I understand. You've explained that before. I said we're seeing it with this conversation right now. I'm talking about it from the perspective of Barcelona, and that's because that's the club specifically being mentioned in the media and that he's offered himself to. But I still think that one in particular is absolute nonsense. But your point is that he might have, uh, you could say, felt that's a chance he felt like he was deceived into getting into maybe what you could call a mess. I still don't think so, and I that was why I went to the extent of discussing the interview that he again he and Moses Casado grace, and that their responses for me, I learned from their responses that they were well briefed on the directions on the direction that the owners want to go with the club. But I understand where you're coming from. So you're saying I'm missing the point that you're not talking about Barcelona, and I said, yeah, I understand. I'm talking about him thinking he was lied to, and I said, yes, chances are he's done that, but not to the extent of wanting to leave. We've all had regrets, even regrets. Even I think we all in again as individuals, we have things in our life that at some point we regretted having, but in the future, realize we were lucky enough to have let go of that stuff. Don't know how specific I can get, but I'm quite sure you understand my point right there. Let's see. I think public embarrassment forces an appropriate response to the contrary. And I agree. And I agree. But maybe they don't just want to waste resources on going to the extent of forcing the media outlet or the company, sports company, whatever you want to call them, to issue an apology for lying. But maybe it's something they're used to. These things happen all the time. And if you remember when we were first linked with a move for him, he was linked with a move to Barcelona, and at the time, they didn't push the signing because how much he had that release clause on his contract at the time, which I think Barcelona weren't able to trigger. It's not my agenda. I never said it was. I'm just saying I understand where you're coming from. The situation is one that, as I've said before, there are whatever angle you choose to look at it from, there are factors that will make it look as if you're right. But I'm not saying you're wrong. You're entitled to your opinion. But I'm just presenting a counter argument here. If you understand my point, it's not my agenda. I have no issues with Enzo. What I know is that I have feared this for a while, and this team has been bad for a while. And you could say now given your that particular comment on the screen, you could say your perspective on the issue is driven by the way you feel about the situation, which is natural. Yeah, and at one point, I felt like at one point I think I felt the same, and that's because he's a good player. But totally understand. And keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along. We appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. Anyways, love you, buddy. Cheers, love you too. And hopefully we would do our collaboration soon. Much love to you, brother. Let's see what else we have here. Pick up, coach. How are you? I can't complain, brother. JC, I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Nobody is escaping this prison sentence contract. That's another thing. That's the first thing that came to mind when I was concerned. That won't make it easy. That's not to say if he really wants to leave and pushes to leave, that he's not going to leave. Yeah, I'm quite sure they have all the players that have signed those prison contracts that you as just let me just reference it the way call it what you called it. It won't be easy, but that's not to say they don't have exit strategies. They're humans. You cannot force them against their wish to remain at the club if they don't want to. But I think we know that they're all happy, except the ones that I'm playing. The ones that are playing are happy. And I'm still going to go back to what I said before. That particular interview where he and Moses Casado were both interviewed, and everything they said for me, just to me, it's reflective of the fact that they were well briefed. The owners didn't lie to anybody, but I truly do understand where Carlito is coming from. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. 12 likes, we should be doing way better than that, and that's because we're 21 minutes into the show. And we will round off once in about 36 minutes. That's because I need we need to go watch the game. We don't have too many people watching this morning, but that's okay. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. And we have a JC here also saying maybe Carlito may have thought about it more than Enzo. Yeah, because chances are, here's the thing, I understand where you're coming from. We're fans, and I think the, if you argue that we do, you can say we do feel about the clubs. We feel more again. We're paying them more about the club's situation than the players. Yeah, and that's because our loyalty as fans is strictly to the club. Players come, players go. In a player's case, if the club is suffering, yeah, in most cases they look to leave the club. But for us fans, we're stuck with the club. Whatever happens, whether we get relegated or not, it's still our club. So, yeah, I think that may well be the case. Yeah, and like he's seeing things from the perspective of a fan, and the player's agent is seeing the situation as an agent that he is, and maybe the club actually reached out to the agent and asked him what's going on here, and that led to him making the public statement. Good morning, everyone. John, nice to see you. I appreciate you finding time to join the show. Everyone in the chat and all the moderators. And coach, and today it's just me on the panel alone, and I'm going to round off as soon as possible. I don't want us to keep going when there aren't many you can say so when there ain't so much stuff to talk about. It just wouldn't help. Yep, John, you see your brother is in the chat this morning, so let's start addressing the items we have lined up one by one. And the first item here, Ian Matson, I know Jesse will have a lot to say with regards to this. This is saying Ian Martin completes his second assist in Bundesliga in just 5 games since he joined the Borussia Dortmund in January, and 35 million release clause included into his contract at Chelsea, valid from July. I don't know. I think now it will be looking. It looks as if that's cheap, really, and Dortmund will be looking at this and be going, "Wow, what a deal we got here!" Because for 35 million pounds, and given the player he is, we've always known he's a good player. I'd be lying if I say I thought I thought he wasn't a good player. No, I've always known that he's an excellent player. But the truth remains, you can say everything comes down to the preferences of the manager. He didn't see him as you can say as Phaeton. You can say he didn't see him as a sort of profile of player he wants to be playing in a left back position for him, and that's understandable. But a lot of questions will be asked of him if he continues to do well in Germany and we continue to struggle in that particular position. Let's see, Coach, which game are you going to watch? Yeah, I know they're all starting at the same time. Usually I flip between them, and I didn't even know why I did not schedule a watch along on the other channel. Let me see what we have here. Just give me 1 second. But while I'm looking at this, please keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Let me see quickly. I'll be right back at you. 4:30. Yeah, there's one at 4:30. The one will finish before the 7 o'clock games. 4:30 a.m. Man City, Everton. We can watch that. There's then a lot of games start. Again, how many games starts at 7? 1, 2, 3 games. Fulham, Bournemouth at 7. Liverpool, Burnley at 7. And then Tottenham, Brighton at 7. So I'm going to watch Liverpool, Burnley, so that I can see that for Fofana. Yeah. I keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I'll try to address, again, I think we'll have just 3 items to discuss this morning. And once we're done with that, the next thing I'll do, if anything, just to waste time a bit, is to look at our numbers to see how who's leading what department, and then after that we'll call it a day. Crime in broad daylight. Yep. 35 million for Ian Martin. What a player. I think that would be one of those cases when we look back, we'll go, what sort of mistake did we make here? I get it. People will always, you can say, come with the argument, but that's a Bundesliga, that's not the Premier League. No, I think he's a good player, but I respect the manager's decision. We've heard that he wants Eiffel Towers, and he's not one. I'm not. I'm really not too, again. But if the manager ends up leaving, I hope he doesn't. I hope he does well. I have my doubts again, and I've expressed, yeah, that I'm currently I'm Poch out for reasons I've explained. But if he stays and does well, yeah, let's keep him. But here's what I want to say quickly: if he leaves, if he eventually leaves Chelsea or gets sacked, and Ian Matson starts doing well, whether he's playing in Division 10, it doesn't matter. I think that will be one of the factors that would define his legacy as Chelsea manager. But I'm still gonna end this by saying I respect his opinion. I keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go along. Well, I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. Just give me 1 second. I wanted to take care of something here. Let's go, people. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, let me take care of this. I'm trying to sync our members we into what's it called? Discord, and it's prompting me to do something there, and I didn't do that. Give me 1 second here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this particular morning. That means a lot to me. Let's see what else we have here. Give me 1 second. I wanted to tackle this. So, some people are already asking questions of the manager why he let Ian Mason go. Listen, preferences. It's a matter of preferences, and I respect that. We needed to get more money from Matson, especially in this market. No, it's sealed. It's not dynamic. You can't just go back to them and say, you know what? We don't want to do that. I think we want 55 million, no longer 35 million. I don't think you can do that. It's not a gentleman's agreement. It's on paper, signed, sealed, and yeah, it's our obligation to fulfill that, except if maybe we call him back before July. And I'm quite sure usually on a loan contracts, you do have options to call the player back, which was why we were able to call back Cesare Casadei from Leicester City. He was playing, and now he hasn't played that much, so that begs the question: why did we call him back in the first place? Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. 13 likes. We should be doing way better than that. And we have a JC saying, I would sack Poch if that is what it takes to keep Matson. Clearly, we know how good Poch is by now. Yeah, but people learn. That's why, again, here's the thing: Chelsea is the club I support, and I've voiced my opinion. I want him gone for reasons I've explained. And I'm not saying everything we're going through right now is all those things are all on him. No, there's a reason from a tactical perspective. I taking my time to look at it. When it matters, he seems to falter. That's what that's what pushed me to the extent of saying, yeah, I want him gone. But he's one thing is sure in terms of again. You cannot question his ability to nurture young players and get them to be at the top, to become top level players. But that's a different thing altogether. Yeah, but I understand where you're coming from. Let's see. Big up to you to Rich Amani. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Coach and a big up legend JC. We must win at Palace. Yeah, that's your ID there. And thank you for dropping that. Maximum we can get this 35 million, whatever comes on top. If there's a bidding war, no, I don't think Dortmund would have signed such contract if there's a possibility for other clubs to try to buy him. I don't think so. Realistically, I think they probably have the first refusal because alone is not their club. I'm not sure how else to explain this. We'll go to Matson. I say will be his a choice. Let's see what happens, but I don't think he comes back to Chelsea again. It would take some convincing to get him to decide. You know what? I'm going back to Chelsea. Yeah. Big up, Rich. Saying and the J, my 2 a.m. bro is in the house. Jay, I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. I hope you're doing well. Big up, Coach. Big up the chat. Big up to you too, bro. We don't have too many stuff to talk about today, so this is your chance to talk about Ian Matson. What do you make of the fact that he's doing well? But I'm going to say this: it's just 5 games. But yeah, in 5 games, he's done really, really well for himself. And some people are already questioning the decision to let him go. But I'd say, yeah, the manager is in charge. He gets to choose what player. You can say that to select the players that fits his preferred approach to football. And if you're not one of them, yeah, nothing else than to leave the club. But let's hear you. Anything else you want to say about him before we move to the next item we have lined up? Yeah, big up to you too, the Chelsea boy, 1234. Nice to see you. I appreciate you finding time to join the show. You are combining Matson's contract with the loan deal. They are separate those. Okay, thank you for clarifying. So you think all the clubs can bid for his purchase? Okay, I didn't know. I don't know how that works. I'm not an expert on that by any stretch of imagination. Let's see. So let's move on from Ian Matson's to the next item we have lined up there. I want us to round up as soon as possible. There aren't much out there to talk about. So yeah, we have to move on from it. Go watch the game. Okay, let's see the next item we have lined up here, people. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes will go a long way. All right. The second item is something the most talked about Chelsea player right now for all the wrong reasons. Not of for me, not of his making. That's how I see it. But let's see what else we have here. Ian Matson going good for us. It's good news for our FFP shows. Yeah, at least we get to sell him, get some money, and maybe added to the money we'll have. Again, because we're gonna make some purchases. At least we will sign at least one player in the summer, and it's I don't think it will be a player that will comfort ship. It could be Ivan Toney, it could be Victor Osimhen, even Gyökeres isn't cheap if we're that interested in signing him. So that's, by the way, this particular report. I think this shouldn't be the first. I wanted us to address the first one. The first report we'll see saying that Enzo Fernandez wants to leave Chelsea Football Club and has offered himself to Barcelona. I don't believe that one bit. I think it's absolute nonsense, in my opinion. Chances are he's had doubts. Yeah, he's a human being. But let's say linking him with a move to Barcelona is absolute nonsense. Barcelona weren't able, correct me if I'm wrong, if they ended up signing, if they in fact did sign a player in the January transfer window, I don't think they spent that much in that market. But my argument is that they have a financial situation that I don't think will allow them to pay anything close to what I believe Chelsea will be asking for Enzo Fernandez should they decide to sell him, which I don't think. I think this is absolute hot dung in my opinion. The report is saying, yeah, that he's offered himself to Barcelona. Multiple reports, especially that one called Sports. Is it Sports? I don't know if there's an S in that one, but this is absolute nonsense. And he's actually, the recent reports with regards to his future, all came out after his celebration, his celebration, which you can say clearly means he's staying. He's not going anywhere. So I'm not too sure why they had the gut to even still release that. And that's because, some people will still believe it. But I'm not too concerned about his future, really. He's on a very long-term contract, and I've heard them. I've read again, seen his responses to interview questions, which for me taught me, or maybe I learned from that in his responses to the interview questions, that he knows he knew what he was getting into, and he knows it was never gonna he knew it was never gonna be easy, and he wanted to be part of it. And his agent said something similar to that effect too. Let's see what else we have here. Big up to you too, Rich Money Maker. Enzo news is rubbish. Exactly. That's how I see it too. But some fans will believe it. If CFC offers Martin a 10 million sign-on fee, his release clause will become more expensive, as any other club will have to match that 10 million to Martin on top of the release clause. Okay. Let's hear you. Anything you want to say about the Enzo Fernandez news? I'd sell Enzo for 150 million. I don't think Chelsea will sell him even for 200 million. He's that important. Remember, he's not even a year into his contract. Chelsea triggered an extension, the extension to to extend it by a further year. Do you remember that? Yeah, that's because let's say he signed a 12-year contract. It will be 13. It is 13 right now. So it just doesn't make sense. I don't think Chelsea will sell him. Yes, I get it. People, I've seen argument out there that the owners are in it for profit. So most will believe that if they see 150 million out, they'd sell Enzo Fernandez. They will not. They will not. They want to keep their best players. And that's one thing I can assure you these owners will do. They're not going to sell him except if he pushes to leave and they're not able to convince him to change his mind and stay, then they'd sell him. That's the only reason why. But if he wants to stay and the club comes with 200 million, they're not going to sell him. I don't know how else to explain that. But funny viral nonsense. Nice to see you, bro. I hope you're doing well. But Poch the Martin is not good enough. Yep, we've moved on from the match. Big up to you, Tommy Bryan. Nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding time to join the show. Big up, Coach. These Chelsea transfer news are horse doo-doo. I think I agree with you. Only weaklings will believe such. Yes, then I'm not gonna accuse anybody for calling anybody names for believing it. I mean it's believable. Yeah, and I told my friend and bro Calito that here's the thing. The truth is this. The fact again, we have situations. No matter how you want to see it from, there are situations again around the club right now that if you see such news, it'd be easy to believe it given those situations. Yep, and see those situations as justifications of your belief. It's as simple as that. Let's see. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. People in the chat want to email Rudy Galetti and call him fraud. He's saying here, look at what he's saying. Sources close to Enzo Fernandez denied the rumors about his desire to leave Chelsea. On the contrary, he wants to stay at Chelsea and become a legend of the club. That's what Rudy is saying. But there are other reports out there saying that he wants to leave Chelsea and that he's offered himself to Barcelona. I don't know if you're paying attention. So Rudy isn't saying that he wants to leave. He's debunking the rumors, if that makes sense. I keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Just saying hello to big rich money makers there. Business is about risk and rewards. The reward has to be a proposal to the risk that CFC took when signing these players with big money and okay, end period. 150 mathematically is not enough. Exactly. Thank you. I think we'll have a financial expert in the house that's explained 150 isn't enough. So it just doesn't make sense to say, yeah, if you that, but that's you. Actually, the person who made that statement in the chat there would sell him for 150 million, but not up to him. And I don't think the owners, even if they, I think even 200 for 200 million, I don't think they'd sell Enzo Fernandez. If you understand how American sports club owners, for lack of a better language, there, they value their. You say they don't sell players for money. They want to get the best players around. Especially, I'm not sure how to explain that, but I'm quite sure you guys understand what I'm trying to say there. But thank you for explaining that, JC. By the way, yeah, this Sackbot says Chimera says Tommy Bryan, bro. Literally, did I am staying here celebration. Or what else do you need to see? But here's the thing with regards to that. Let's be honest here.
That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So my point is, he did the same thing at Benfica, but there are other reasons.
Exactly.
Yeah, there are other reasons behind the celebration to say it just doesn't make sense. The celebration alone is nothing. He did the same thing at Benfica. It's as simple as that. So that's why I try to keep things as objective as possible. But yeah, you could argue the fact that he did that, plus other factors we've talked about, the length of his current contract, and the fact that we've heard him speak about the project, which is reflective, which we learned at the time that, yeah, he was well briefed on the direction the owners wanted to go, and he wanted to be part of it. So beyond the celebration, nah, but the celebration plus those together, yeah. So I can't rely on the celebration alone, and I hope you understand that. Let's see what else we have here. This says that Enzo is a World Cup winner for Chelsea. Yep, the brand also is good. Yeah, Enzo is a very talented player that even Pep would put him in his team. Yeah, but here's the thing. I think the owners will keep him. Just the part you mentioned him as he's so important for the Chelsea brand right now, especially now that we're struggling. And I think the owners will I think they'd be willing to pay him whatever he wants to keep him, and he probably knows that. And I'm quite sure before they triggered the extension on his contract, not even a year into his you say he starts life as a Chelsea player. Probably he got a lot more pay than all other players at the club. I keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along with. Hello to you too, Jamed. I hope you're doing well. Barcelona having financial troubles. So don't know how they are going to do it. If these rumors are to be believed, I don't think you should believe the rumors. Just move on with your life. Loving the stream. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. There's also clear news where ownership had mentioned that they are building the team around Enzo. Yep, and he knows that. He knows that. Poch has also been on record to say that Poch is building team around Gallagher. Just go away. Okay, yeah, okay. Don't worry, just let us know. Just yeah, but I think you may have to join us on YouTube here. But if you want to do it on Twitch, that's up to you. So Ty, let's hear you. Two things. We don't have too much, and I want us to round up as soon as possible to go watch the game. We have about 15 minutes to round up. We're not going to let this run. There ain't so much to talk about. Ian Martin, if you want to talk about him, and then the Enzo Fernandez story, let's hear you. And big up
Yeah,
again for finding time to join Ty.
yeah, big up. Yeah, with Enzo for one, I'll start with Enzo.
Mhm.
Uh, this is gonna always happen. You're gonna always have these rumors popping up, especially with different factors being there. One factor is the fact that he's received a lot of hate by Chelsea fans. So one narrative would be that he wants to leave because he's being bad mouthed and he's being treated badly at the club, and also the club's current position in the table. But to say that Barcelona are not in the greatest position either, so it doesn't make much sense there. And I'm happy you mentioned the fact that the celebration that he did against Aston Villa doesn't mean much because he did the exact same thing again when he was at Benfica when they were linked with him in 2023. So it doesn't really change anything. It doesn't mean that he's going to stay. It doesn't mean that he won't stay. It just means that it's just a celebration that he replicated. But obviously, like you said, there's other factors surrounding it. The fact that and plus when he signed, he said that he is okay with the project. Obviously, that was in Spanish. He spoke about the owners talking to him and how impressed he was with what the owners' ideas were. So clearly, he would have been aware of the fact that these things would happen. So if he wants to leave, then he would have had a change of heart. But I don't think the rumors are really much to look at because at the end of the day, he was informed of what the project would look like. And Ian Matson, that situation is one that to me it's a bit unfortunate because he didn't really get an opportunity as much, and I get that his contract situation didn't help. But I'm happy that he's gone to Dortmund on loan. He could potentially go there if he continues to impress because he's doing quite well there. So it's promising for him. It looks promising for him, and I wish him the best of luck.
Mm.
If he ends up leaving the club permanently, which looks more likely, there's a release clause, which is feasible. It's an affordable one for clubs, so I suppose that is likely. But I'm happy that he's having that opportunity to get minutes and he's actually being loved by Dortmund fans. So that is another positive. So I'm happy for him. I'm just a bit disappointed that he didn't get more opportunities in the team at Chelsea.
But again, you have to respect the manager's preference.
Yeah, yes and no. We didn't really have a left back, and we kept persisting with Levi Cole, but I don't know.
I think until it turns out that again, here's right now. If we do well, there won't be so much question as with regards to why he let him go. But if we don't do well, especially if we have issues in the left back position, he'd be in serious trouble. But even before that, I've always known Ian Matson staying and getting to play at Chelsea. That definitely one of Ben Chilwell or Marco Correa would have to leave, and that hasn't happened.
Yeah,
So, but the fact I get it, you made a good point. The fact that we had both out injured actually, and he wasn't playing him. It that's on its own. It's talent. It was talent at the time. So let's move on to the next item quickly. We'll be rounding up soon. No need to waste time here. Big up another legend in the house, Ty. Yep, Ty. Rich Moneymaker's calling you a legend, and Jay is saying here, yeah, you're a legend. I'll take it. Jay is saying here, the timing of the celebration says a lot. I think I agree. But my point in time's argument at the time, we have to look beyond that because, yeah, he's proven that it's practically nothing. Benfica was always a platform for him to go somewhere big. I agree. Cannot compare that situation to Chelsea, but I understand your point too. Yeah, and I totally understand the timing. Uh, yeah, you could say it does say a lot, and I agree with you. But then again, at the same
no,
time,
no, no. But
that alone isn't a guarantee that he's saying. Go ahead, Ty.
no, but
Go
there
ahead,
has
Ty.
been
You were
a
saying
history
something.
of players doing. There's history of players doing I'm staying celebration, and then they end up leaving in the summer, or they end up leaving in the winter window. So you can't base that on that. You can't. There's no guarantee in football. There's loyalty is out the window. You can only see rare occasions of loyalty to clubs by players. And if the offer is made,
I'm
if the
sorry. I'll
money
let
looks
you know
pretty
why I'm
good,
laughing when we highlight that particular comment. Go ahead.
yeah. So I mean, I get it. Benfica was probably a platform to put him out there. He moved from River Plate to Benfica, then months later he ends up leaving Benfica. But I don't know. There's been history of players doing I'm staying celebration and they end up leaving, so it makes no sense.
Yeah. And Ty, here's this one. I like this one. I
Oh yeah,
really
it's
do
true
like
because
that one.
what
I'm not playing.
that actually came in
Go ahead, Ty.
yeah, that actually came in my mind when I saw the celebration. I was like, so why you doing that and you're at Villa Park? I don't understand. You're gonna stay at
Oh
Villa
my
Park.
goodness.
You're not going back with the team. You're staying at Villa. Okay, that's interesting.
So maybe, yeah, was he pointing that he's staying at Villa? Exactly. We went at home. So that's, oh my goodness, that's hilarious, really. Yeah. Maybe he was pointing that, yeah, maybe he was to stay at Villa. Um, He calls him a troll. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along with. Let's address the last item we have lined up. I get it. We don't have too many views yet. Not up to in the back end. Not even up to 100 views, but 18 likes. I think we'll call it a day. No need to waste time here. I think it will be seriously boring because there aren't too many stuff going. Not so much is going on right now. So let's move on to the next item we have lined up here, so we can call it a day. The shorter it is, the more people come and watch it. Yeah, and this brings back what's it called again? Chelsea would be ready to offer 100 million to Barcelona for Frankie De Jong. This is another that same source that's saying that yeah, Enzo Fernandez has offered himself to Barcelona. This is some horse dung. This is absolute nonsense. But Ty, let's hear you.
Oh
I don't think anybody
Lord.
should believe this.
Yeah, this is actually funny. We've been linked every single summer. Every time it comes onto this video, we're always linked with Frankie De Jong. Chelsea
Hmm.
would be ready to offer 100 million. First it was 110, then it was 150. Every year it's just If that was the case, I'm sure we'd be ready, and then we'd be ready to play him. 'Cause we would have bought him already. I don't understand this. Yeah, I don't think anybody should believe this because like the makes no sense. And unless well, another thing, I'm sure Frankie De Jong is older than 24. So if the owners are going to actually tweak their plan of signing players who are younger and to build for the future, and they get somebody who's more experienced in terms of age and how long they've been playing at the top level, then I don't think Frankie De Jong comes to the club either. But yeah,
I
this
don't
is
think we
nothing.
need them.
Yeah, we
I
don't
don't think
need
we
him.
need them. No, we don't
He
need
could
them. It
leave. He
just
could leave
wouldn't make
Barcelona.
sense.
Yeah, he could leave
Sorry.
Barcelona, but I don't. He could leave Barcelona, but it doesn't mean that he's gonna end up at Chelsea. He could go. He could go to Man United. Man United have always had a interest in him.
Yeah, because of Ten Hag. Yeah, but we don't need them. We are packed in that midfield area. We have let's count them: Moses Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Leslie Ugochukwu, Cesare Casade, Andrea Santos. Am I missing anybody? Probably.
Yeah,
Uh,
Lavia.
oh, exactly, Romeo Lavia. So we don't need them. So this is absolute nonsense. That this actually explains actually to me tells me that everything we've heard about Enzo Fernandez and this guy now that they're all absolute nonsense, and that's because the next thing now you hear them say, I think Jesse's already saying that in the chat, but let me do a tap in there that Chelsea are willing to do a swap deal with them. That's the next rumor that's going to come out. Let's see. And Rich Moneymaker saying a friend closer to the club have told me that the plan of the club was to get to Wembley in the FA Cup or League Cup. Enzo was told that this year would be building chemistry. Facts. Okay, thank you. You can't tell us what your friend told you and tell us facts. It's your opinion. Maybe CFC can swap Gallagher with the young. Okay, not similar thing. I'm okay. Well, so was never going to be a tap in. I just thought that you were saying the same thing. But here's what I'm going to say. Is this? I think yeah. The next thing they start talking about is that Chelsea are willing to swap into Fernandez for Frankie De Jong. Let's see. When the team is not doing well, such nonsensical rumors start flying around. Exactly, can I think that's exactly what it is, and a lot of people believe it. That's the thing. And the coolest cells, and that to be. Nice to see you, Tobagola. I appreciate you finding time to join the show. Litness is greatness. We're gonna call it a day. I get it. If we stay, we'll get more views, but no, I don't think it makes sense to be. We don't have anything lined up to talk. But if you have any questions, drop it in the chat. We'll be rounding up soon so that we can go watch the game, the Man City game. That's the first one. Starts in about 33 minutes, and then the rest will be played at the same time. So big up to you, to brother. I hope you're doing well. Ty out, coach out, JC out, everybody out, even the show out itself. But to be nice to see you, brother. Yeah, Potch out to you added that. Rich Money Makers shoot. Yeah, let's see what else we have here. Anything else? Hit the like button, people, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you have any questions, so drop it in the chat. We will be rounding up soon. I want us to go watch the Man City game, yeah, and then watch the rest of the game we have today. And Vic, nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. And if you are a member, we've integrated the channel with Discord. I think it's I don't know if it has synced properly, but the last time I checked, wasn't properly synced. So it's saying that it's going to sync with time. So but the group, I think it has synced the stages of the membership. Is it levels? Yeah. Turk Nerd and Convert Nerd both there, but has not been populated with the members itself. So I'm not sure why there's a delay in that. But nice to see you, Vic. Saying big up, JC. If you have any questions, drop it in the chat. Otherwise, we'll call it a day. He cannot show his bank balance, okay, because he has limits. So anybody else, if you have any questions in the chat, drop it. Otherwise, we'll call it a day. Ty, anything you want to talk about? All right, if you're in the chat, if you have any questions, drop it. Otherwise, we will call it a day. Go ahead, Ty.
Oh boy. It's crazy. I, I, God, that's unfortunate.
I'm guessing you don't have anything else to talk about. All right, don't push it. Nice quick one, coach. Yeah, I wanted to end like that because no, not so much to talk about here. No need wasting time. So let's go watch the game. Yeah, I get it. If we stayed, we'd get more views, but no, I don't think it makes sense. So let's end it now. So yeah, I think we should end it. Ty, thank you so much for finding the time to join me on the panel. We have 22 people watching right now. We have 22 likes, not bad. Great show. Close contact. Close. Does know a lot of information in the club. My friend will try to get more information, and I'm not rich, but got enough for now. Okay, thank you for that story. And Ty has shared the link to his YouTube channel, Rich Money Makers. I don't know if you subscribed to Ty's channel. I'm quite sure everyone that's in the chat has done that. So yeah, I'm gonna say thank you to all of you for finding the time to join the show. Hopefully by tomorrow we have a lot to talk about, but no need wasting time here when there isn't much to talk about. Maybe we'll try an evening show. If anything, I'll be paying attention to what's going on out there. Maybe things will pop up that we would want to talk about. Then we'll do an evening show. It's Saturday. I'm not going anywhere except if my wife comes up with some idea. Then yeah, maybe we'll go out, but I don't think so. Go check out Ty's YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and let him know I sent you. I want to say thank you to Ty for finding the time to join me on the panel. Thank you, Vic. Thank you, Chelsea Sessions. Thank you, Richard Mikos. Thank you, JC, Vic, and all of you in the chat. Again, if I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and cheers.